I'm Jennifer Martinez, the CEO of the ARC of Texas. Our organization promotes, protects, and advocates for the self-determination and human rights of Texans with intellectual and developmental disabilities, also known as IDD. People with IDD can and do live independent, productive lives in their communities with appropriate community supports, due in large part to a legal foundation created by the Americans with Disabilities Act. The ADA was created to build a more inclusive society in which all people with disabilities have access to fair housing, non-discriminatory employment practices, public accommodations, and much more. However, we're still knocking down those walls. For instance, gains in competitive integrated employment have been slower than expected, and people with disabilities are still paid a sub-minimum wage. Community-based services that allow people with IDD to live independently in their communities are not adequately funded, and far too many people remain trapped in institutions. As we celebrate the 30th anniversary of the ADA, the ARC of Texas promises to continue promoting and protecting the rights of Texans afforded by law, in the hopes of realizing our vision of a world where Texans with IDD are included in their communities, where quality supports and services that are available to meet their needs and choices. We hope you'll join us in our partner disability rights organizations as we continue our work toward a more inclusive Texas.
Hi, I'm Gentry, and this is my brother, Mark. Mark, what's something that you like to do?
I just go for a bike.
You like to go for bike rides? That is a lot of fun. What else do you do?
Go to the park.
You like going to the park? That is fun too. Community-based services such as aid in personal care, communication, behavior support, and transportation are important for folks with intellectual and developmental disabilities because they allow people to develop and achieve their dreams in ways that aren't imaginable in segregated institutions. These services are what make the world accessible to the IDD community. The ADA's integration mandate, upheld by the Supreme Court in the Olmstead decision, establishes the right of people with disabilities to receive community-based services. While this is a great legal foundation, the Texas state government has been very slow to implement it. In Texas alone, there are over 150,000 people, including my brother, on waiting lists for services. We are still fighting for Texas to fulfill the promise of the Americans with Disabilities Act by providing the support necessary.
She's at Broussard on Saturday.
Oh yeah, we love going out to eat. By providing the support necessary for all folks with IDD to live safely in the community.
Hi, my name is Ricky Broussard, and this is my story. The ADA is a civil rights for people with disabilities. Before, it was hard for people with disabilities to get what they needed. And that's what happened to me. At the age of 10, I had to leave home because my house was not accessible. And I did not have an accessible van. For the next 29 years, I lived in 4 different facilities. While I was there, the psychiatrist said I would only be good to work in a shelter workshop for the rest of my life. Then I started working at a shelter workshop, putting nuts and bolts on a pole for $2.50 for every 2 weeks. Sometimes I felt so hopeless. Sometimes I was never sure that I would be able to get a real job and move out on my own. But I had a dream. I wanted to help people just like me. I shared my dream with the ARC of Texas and Imagine Enterprises. They decided to help me with my dreams. I moved into my own apartment. I bought my own accessible van. I started working for Imagine Enterprises as a mentor. My dream came true. I help people with disabilities all over Texas. The psychiatrist, he was wrong about me. And this is what the ADA does. It protects people. It helps the world to be accessible so we can all enjoy life and make a living. Thanks to the ADA, you all have the rights to live your dream. If you want to hear more of my story, you can contact me, or you can contact Imagine Enterprises, or you can contact the ARC of Texas. Thank you.